So I'm speaking to someone who has learned to know better. You've learned to not stick around for certain things in life. Certain things that you know are not serving you, you quickly steer clear of them. You no longer stick around for as long as you used to. Before, you used to stick around for way too long. And it was frustrating for you. But then you realize that you don't have to stick around. So you stopped. You stopped staying in environments that weren't serving you, that weren't working for you. And at that point, that's when you realized how much you grew, because there was a time before where you could not resist being around certain people, doing certain things. I heard it was fun. It used to be like fun for you. So maybe some of you just found pleasure in your way of being at that time, prior to you recognizing that the environments that you were placing yourself in, they weren't any good for you anymore. So it's like, because you did that, you allowed yourself to move in the direction of success, because a successful life is where you actually saw yourself. So from that point on, every decision that you make, it leads towards what you feel could be a successful outcome. So now you've transitioned from just going with the crowd to wielding your own power to go with what you feel is right, what you think is necessary in that point in time. That's what you go for, that's what you focus on, and that's what you know works for you. Okay? And prior to, you had a propensity to just, you may have asked other people more than you needed to. This is making me think about most of the mentorships that I've done with you all that have booked a one-on-one with me. It makes me think about like the phases of the conversation that we go through. After I read for you and you establish to me that what I say to you, or what spirit and I share with you from the reading, you all express to me how it coincides with what you're going through and the emotions that you're feeling at that time. And then we slowly, it's like we sift through the different issues just by you expressing yourself. And I just find it so interesting that most of you actually, with me leading you, you find the answer to your own question just by me asking you questions. So I find that many of you are not sure what questions to ask yourself. But once you start to train yourself to ask yourself the questions that matter the most, you can begin to solve your own problems, as opposed to feeling like you need to get assistance from someone else. And this is what I want you guys to learn from me. When you're counseled by me and we sit down and we talk for hours, one or two, depending on, what you register for or what you process to receive. It's like, through the conversation, there's points of realizations that I always notice when the light bulb turns on. It's just, I want you guys to recognize that you always have that light in you. It's just that it's hard to see sometimes because you're stuck in a certain mindset that has been stagnating you for so long that it's hard for you to see anything else. It's hard for you to see anything other than, I want to say truth, but it's more than that. It's almost like seeing yourself, I think. Because when you're around a bunch of chaos, you see so much chaos and turmoil that you don't really see yourself. And there's always these moments in these conversations that I have with you when you book a coaching call with me, a mentorship, or it's really a coaching call because that's those one session calls that I was doing before that I just put back up on my website. So yes, if you would like to book a coaching call with me, you can, and I will put the magic here so you can see. But back to this message, I always see when you guys know the answer, and I always show you that you know the answer when you show me that you know the answer. And it's funny because as you guys are talking, it's like you still don't realize that you answered your own question through our guided conversation. The way that we kind of like, I kind of flow with you as you speak to me about whatever's giving you, you know, or making you experience this trauma or traumatic experience. As I allow you to bring me into your world, as you speak, I can see things that may have gone over your head because you're so entrenched and engrossed in the situation that it's hard for you to see things that the person in your energy could be doing to you that could be causing you this pain. And many of you blame yourself when it is not even you. Sometimes, yeah, of course, it could be you sometimes. But most of the time, with all of you beautiful souls that I love so much, I love each and every one of you. Each and every one of you, through speaking, you show me how intelligent you are. Each and every one of you show me that it's like you guys know what you need to do, but you don't trust yourself. That's all it is. That's what I usually see. And see, this isn't something else. I want to teach you how to trust yourself and how to believe in what you feel and what you say, and how to accommodate yourself by listening to your intuitive nudges and your psychic abilities that you have, because we all have them. We all have this ability. It's just that we have to tap into it. But the only way that you could tap into it is if you would allow yourself to. If you feel something and know something and then you reject it, then you're not allowing the flow to catch you. You know, you miss the most influential aspect of your abilities when you reject and resist. So when you just let go and just free fall into the intuitive nature that you naturally have yourself, allow yourself to just dive in it. Just dive in it. And don't be so judgmental when it comes to how you perceive the situation. It's just about really trusting yourself. And I always have a sense of I always get a sense of satisfaction when I see that you guys see what I see, and you're able to see yourselves in a different light. Because it's like traumatic experiences can blind you, and it blinds you to the point where it could blind you for years and you don't even know who you are anymore. And it's like you're always stuck in this space of thinking that there's something else that you could have done, when most of you that contact me, what can I say? The most that I could say that you guys inflicted on yourself is not believing in yourself and not recognizing how much power that you have in your own life. I think those are the two downfalls that I see the most that cause you to be stuck, to cause you to feel stuck. But as we speak and I show you how on point you are, because I'll say something, or there's many times where I was getting ready to say something to you and then you say something to me to show me that you already know. And I also think it also has a lot to do with having trouble accepting the truth of a matter. It's like you'd rather wait around for the person that is causing you trauma to change. In those moments when you're going through turmoil and when you're experiencing the trauma, it's like you want to do everything to make it work. It's just that the best thing for you to do if something is not working is to back away from it, because it's only going to stress you out even more. And then you stay in a toxic relationship for so much longer than you need to. So when you guys put power before, I almost said before your words, when you put power before your words, it's like you enlighten yourself to recognize like, oh, I do have the power, or I am thinking right. You know, because a lot of times when you're in toxic relationships, the person that is combative in your life, they will always make you believe that everything you do is wrong, and they will never take any account for what they do wrong. So they'll have you looping and driving yourself absolutely crazy because you're trying to make up for lack that you really don't have. The only lack in that situation is sticking around with someone who's not willing to change and that keeps pointing fingers and never takes accountability. I don't think accountability came out right that first time, so I had to say it again. But before I hang up the phone with you guys, when we're either on a Zoom call or on the phone, I'm always so happy. I'm happy because I feel the heaviness lift up off of you. I could feel it because in the beginning of the conversation, I could feel the intensity through the energy that you have. Not to say that you are aggressive or anything. None of you are ever like aggressive or anything like that. It's more so of like, I could feel the weight through your tone of voice that you experience when you're hurting inside. I could feel it through the phone and through the video. Like, it's so powerful that I could feel it because I'm so sensitive. That's why I know I'm made for this. This is like my superpower. I have the ability to feel, and I'm not trying to do it. It's just like, it's in my veins or something. It's just in me. And it's just always, it's always a blessing. When I get off the phone with you guys or a video call, I feel blessed to have been able to impact your life in a way to help you to see the best in you, as opposed to keeping on thinking about what someone is projecting on you about yourself, which is usually not even true. It's really them just trying to take the attention off of themselves to then aim it at you to make you feel like you're not worthy. So now you guys are in that mindset of success. You're like, you know what? It might take some time, but I'm going to do what I have to do to wield this situation to my favor. And I'm going to collect all of the evidence I need to prove my point in my own life. Because, you know, some of you did have to collect some evidence. And some of you already did for, well, I hope you're watching, because I don't know, you might be busy. But if you are watching this video, you are a detective, and of course I'm not going to say your name, but you're going to know because I was calling you a detective. And because of your name, I called you Princess in the beginning. But you just came to mind because how you were able to collect evidence so well. And you thought you didn't have enough, and you had more than enough. You see, that's what I'm saying. I just want to help you guys to see that you're already equipped, so that there comes a point where you don't feel the need to have to be mentored or counseled, even though there's nothing wrong with continuous mentorship. And I'm always available when you need me. But it's more so about you feeling that confidence within yourself, because I feel as you elevate in life, you need a mentorship for each elevation, because there's certain sectors of life that you might not know that well. So there comes a time where you may need multiple mentors, or, you know, maybe you'll figure it out on your own if you like to, you know, learn on your own. But either way, mentors really cut time in half for you. And they shorten the stress that it takes to actually learn something new. So when you invest in yourself in that way and you invest into a mentor, you're really investing into yourself, because you're cutting the time in half that it would take for you to go on this long, drawn out journey of figuring out the, I guess, sector of knowledge that you're interested in. Is going to take you time to find it out on your own. But when you speak to someone who's skilled in that area, they've already done that. So all you have to do is ask questions and express yourself, and then the mentor can tell you everything you need to know. So I say all that to say that I am so proud of all of you that have communicated with me and booked a one-on-one mentorship call with me, because you're proving not only to yourself but also to God that you want better. And that frequency emits into the frequency of the universe, and it strengthens your auric field, because it's like you're building armor around your own auric field, because the energy that you're putting out is saying, I want better for myself, I want more, because of the action that you took to take part in investing in yourself. The message that you're giving to the universe is so high in frequency that you begin to improve just by taking that first step. You already begin to improve, even if you don't feel it yet. You have, because of the direction that you chose to walk in, because of the choice you chose, because of the effort that you put in to wield your power in the direction that equates to growth. That is where you win, and this is where you will always win. Again, if you would like to speak to me in a mentorship call, I am here. All you have to do is go to www.MNHONEYROSE.org, and you could book a one-on-one coaching session with me. It's an hour long, okay? And we could talk about whatever you need to talk about, and let's get you right. Let's get you back on track, so you don't feel like something is wrong with you. So you don't feel like you can't accomplish what is meant for you to accomplish. A buildup of continuous heartbreak can make you feel like you can't move, and it can make you feel like you're paralyzed. It can make you feel like you're in a vegetative state. So as we discuss your issue after I give you the reading through tarot, through connecting to spirit, we will then speak about what you need to release off of your heart and your soul. The things that bother you the most, the things that make you feel most uncomfortable, the most discomfort, and allow you to release the weight that is on your heart. And then as you speak, I will be able to show you your strengths and show you your weaknesses. And then we can strengthen those weaknesses and then use your strengths to your advantage, and focus on moving from a place of love, regardless of how tough the decision is that you need to make. When you move from a place of love, you will never be the one to blame, because everything that you do, you will do it with love. Yes. And that is the answer to all the questions. Maybe not all of them, but many of them. But I feel like it's kind of like all of them, because love is the answer. And love has been lost for so long that we don't even recognize how powerful love is anymore, because everybody has been almost like, what's the word I want to use? It's like pulled. I'm hearing vacuum, suctioned. It feels like a suction, like a suctioned into this way of being that is so toxic that you don't even know who you are anymore, off the strength of this very well-oiled machine called The Matrix that is very systematic and very intrusive, and not intrusive in a good way. It intrudes on your ability to heal and love oneself, and that's what is needed in order to truly feel the strength of love in your life. So yes, you wielding your power in the direction of, even for those who purchased my book, and thank you to all of you beautiful people that has purchased my book. You know, I am so thankful for all of you, because so many of you have purchased my book already, and it's like, wow, the love is real. Y'all love me. Y'all really love me. I love you too, and God loves you. And that book started out as still is, it's an offering of love from me to God, because my allowing myself to be guided by God, by our Creator, with blind faith, and learning how to do that, even though there were times where I was scared, there was times where I was nervous, times where I felt like I wanted to give up. But I always had this special sauce inside of me that said, girl, you better get up. No, you're not gonna stop. No. And I think a big part of that too was the fact that I have a child, and I had to also, I was like motivating myself to be there for her. And I heard many times, I think you need motivation when things are difficult. So if you have a reason behind why you should work so hard, it helps you to go. It helps you to have a better understanding of the why for you in your life. And when you have that understanding, it helps you so much, because you're like, I have to do this because this is the right thing to do, and that's why. And it always gives you like a reminder of why you're working so hard and why you're putting so much time in. And once you realize that, it makes it easier, and then it becomes like natural, it becomes normal. It's just that in the beginning it's so tough because you're not used to it. You're not used to that much work. It reminds me of when I got my first apartment years ago, and I had to clean it all by myself because my daughter was little. And I was like, oh my gosh. And it would take me a long time because I didn't catch the flow yet, and but then over time I got used to it, and then it wasn't so daunting to me anymore. But because I wasn't used to, doing so much, I had to adjust myself to that. But that's the same concept for everything in life. So I just want you guys to hold on to that, because it's real, and it's always going to be challenging at first, but it doesn't remain that way. Now it's making me think about when I worked I was working remotely for a financial institution, and we had like, how much, it was like, I think it was like a 1 month training, and it was extensive, and we had to learn about all of these different applications that we needed to open up. And then we found out that we needed to have multiple applications open at the same time while we were on the call. And then we also had to take notes about everything that was important in the conversation while we were toggling the applications, and while we were listening to the client, and while we were making sure that we heard what they were saying so that we could respond properly. To say the least, yes, it was challenging because it was a lot, and it was a lot in a very short period of time. And it was also the learning curve was real curvy because it was so much information in such a short amount of time that it frightened people. I was even a little intimidated. However, I was like, I could do it. I just kept that mindset, and I was like, it's fine, whatever. I just gotta do it. It's not going to be that bad. I know right now it feels crazy because all this stuff looks new. I've never seen that before. Okay, anyway, Did you guys hear that music? That's why I started dancing. Anyway, that's the FedEx truck. But yeah, so long story short, there was like 200 people in that class when we first started. Tell me why a week before we were supposed to get on the phones, there was only like 50 people left out of 200 people. And they were like really tripping. These are grown people too. They were like complaining. They were scared. Somebody started crying. And the instructor was like, you know, everybody, I need you to calm down. I need you to calm down because you guys are going a bit far with this. You know, I know we're moving quickly. However, you know, over time, you'll get the hang of it, which is true. You know, as an adult, you know that that's true, but it's just challenging when you first actually have to utilize and apply what you've learned. I cannot believe that all those people left. 150 people left. Then 2 weeks into actually being on the calls live, it was like 25 people left. So it ended with like 25 people out of 200 because people were so intimidated. And we would talk about that in the meetings and be like, wow, that's crazy, because the call volume was so heavy because so many people had left. And the 200 individuals on the calls is what was needed in order for people to be able to get a breather. But there was no breather. So as soon as one call was over, the next one was already ringing. So there was no breather. So it was a lot of work. But that's just to say, don't give up on yourself. At least try, you know. And I feel like many of you are starting to take on that mindset because you know that that is the way to success. But that experience showed me how adults are so quick to give up from being fearful and from being nervous. And I also want to say that the individuals that we were talking to on the phone, they were all business owners. And many of them made a lot of money, and we would see it. And so some of the people that left were complaining about how wealthy people are entitled, and they didn't want to deal with that energy because at first we didn't know who we were going to be communicating with. But then we found out later, and many of the employees were very intimidated when it comes to communication. But I just felt, I didn't know why. I mean, I kind of understood what they were saying but everybody's not bad. It's like they put everyone of wealth in a category, but I just feel like that's not true for everyone. Everyone is not like that. Everyone's not. I've spoken to many beautiful people, many people that are kind, and you know because of the conversations that they have that they have a heart. Everyone's not cold. Just like all people that are not wealthy are not like thieves and lazy. You know, it's the same thing. Like that stigma that is put on certain groups of people, that's not always true. But then, you know, there was a group that was a little entitled. But that it didn't align with a certain tax bracket. It was just people in general that would be like that a lot of the times, just certain people. So it doesn't have anything, it doesn't always have to do with the tax bracket when it comes to people and their attitudes. It's just their upbringing and who they turned out to be, you know. But yeah, I just want to say that I'm proud of all of you that have purchased the book, and I thank you, my loves. And I'm rooting for you every step of the way. And I will continue to give you these messages that Spirit gives to me to give to you, so that you can be more confident in yourself and be ready to tackle the problems that you have in your life, and also be able to speak to the darkness that you have not analyzed yet. Like the darkness within you that you haven't analyzed yet. You know, I encourage you to let you know that you can look at the things that bothered you. You can. And you just have to coach yourself to know that you can create closure in spaces that you feel like you didn't get closure. Create the closure yourself. You don't have to wait for anybody to apologize to you. Of course, it's beautiful to be acknowledged and someone tell you, like, you know, I was going through this and that's why I did that and my apologies. But you're not always going to get that, because some people are just not even ready for that yet. They're not even there yet. So why wait and hold yourself up waiting for something that's never going to come? You know, it's not worth it. So Spirit and I love you very much. We root for you every day. We believe in you. We want you to believe in you, and continue to believe in your intuition, because this be one of the main problems. And you guys, y'all know. You know. You show me multiple times that you know, and then as soon as I show you that you know, you start laughing. Like, you already know the answer. Stop playing. Then I remind you that you know, and then next time you're gonna be like, you know what? I remember what Mystic Alchemy said. She said that I know, so let me try this and see if it works. Let me actually follow my own inner guidance and my own wisdom, because it's just many of you get caught up not believing in your own wisdom, and you have so much already. But again, if you need me to check you out a little bit and get you back straight, because sometimes we be walking a little crooked. I mean, I was walking crooked. You know, we all walk crooked sometime, and then we got to get straight. We got to get straight again, you know, from the this to the that. Okay? And once you get there, you'll feel better. So, yes, book a coaching call with me if there's something that you have on your chest that's bothering you and you feel confused about it, and there's so many uncertainties and you just feel like you just need someone else's perspective. I'm here. I'm here to listen and to give you the guidance that you need. Okay? It is my pleasure. This is my calling to be here to speak to you guys. All right? All right. Everything you do, do it with love. Always remember the Creator is in you and the magic is too, because you are magic. Much love to you. I'll see you in the next video.